When you do YouTube because you love to make certain kinds of content, not because of the views, not because of the money. Do it because you love to do it, no other reason.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Third Time's the Charm. You can't see it. You can. Bringing guys everything gaming. It's been a while since we've done a gaming related article or gaming related video at all, so good to be back to doing one of these again. The footage that you see is Battlefield 4 on the beautiful PC. I've been having a lot of fun with Battlefield 4 on PC. The downside is I'm back to like a low level. I believe I was level 136 on the Xbox One when I had my console. So having Battlefield 4 back on the PC really kind of helps to close that wound of missing my Xbox, and I still do miss it sometimes. But anyways, let's get to the article, guys. Now, this article is relatively old. It's a couple weeks old, and I meant to do this a couple weeks ago. Life, it goes so quickly, guys. Especially as you get older. This article is from GameRant.com, and they released an article titled "Why Battlefield 4 is Still Beating Star Wars Battlefront." And when I saw this article, I knew that I wanted to talk about it because if you guys know me from the very beginning of this channel, I love Battlefield 4. Battlefield is my favorite FPS online shooter of choice. Now, we all know that Star Wars Battlefront did not quite receive the reception that publisher EA expected when it was released in November of last year. Now, although the game Star Wars Battlefront was highly anticipated by the gaming community, the multiplayer shooter came under fire, no pun intended, from fans of the franchise and critics alike for perceived lack of content. And I haven't played Star Wars Battlefront, so I could still have a lot of fun with it, but from what I've seen, I can agree. It just doesn't seem a lot of content was put into the online multiplayer. Not to mention, I'm a campaign guy as well. I love campaigns, so not having the campaign in there, but that can be argued to not necessarily influence long-term users. Still, Star Wars Battlefront managed to sell 13 million copies, and that's still quite impressive. Quite impressive, young Padawan. According to Battlefield-centric website BF4 Central, 2013's Battlefield 4 actually has 50% more users than DICE's Star Wars shooter. Now, the recent data mine of statistics from EA's own servers suggests that Star Wars Battlefront has only 80,000 active users on average over 24 hours. Now, I know that may seem like a strong amount, but Battlefield 4, which was released, like I said, several years ago in 2013, still gets approximately 125,000 users per day. Now, it is even worse for Battlefield Hardline, which averages just 25,000 active users. I've kind of pulled a couple of things, maybe a few things from the article that they mention, maybe the reason why Battlefield 4 is still outperforming Star Wars Battlefront. Like I said, the obvious one is lack of overall content. I'm not talking just about the single player, because that can be argued that won't necessarily drive long-term users if you're just in it for the multiplayer. The lack of overall entertaining content to keep players' attention, and also the lacking of technical ability for gamers to master. So, you know, for me, I have to have a lot of variety of weaponry. Gadgets. That's why I've loved Battlefield 4, just the Battlefield franchise, and even I would pick Call of Duty, certain Call of Duty games over Star Wars Battlefront, because they just offer so much more content and variety. Now, there can be too much variety, too much content, because it can be too chaotic, in my opinion. You have to give enough to your user base, your consumers, if you want to keep them for, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 years even. I think Battlefield 4 compared to Battlefront definitely displays that better. Many of you know that DICE was the creator of Battlefront, and I think a lot of us were also shocked and disappointed in that game because we expected the same intensity that DICE has put into their Battlefield games, and just the overall Battlefield franchise over time. It's blown up. It's become, you know, on par with the Call of Duty franchise in the past, and they're not the same game, in my opinion. Even though I haven't played it, I've seen plenty of gameplay, I've heard experiences, and just talked to a lot of people who've played it. It's not the same game, and I think DICE was shocked about how poorly it was received. Now, you know, the reasons for this are multiple, but it mainly comes down to the difference between the two franchises. Like I said, they're different games, and the way in which DICE handled player expectations. Battlefield has always had a campaign tied to it, its obvious multiplayer focus, and this has helped users to take on the slightly different mechanics of each game. I consider myself one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Battlefield 4 fan. Yes, some of my friends. I love Battlefield 4. I think it's an amazing game. Even on launch, I was there playing it, and through all the misery and the disconnects, it was sad. It was very frustrating, but I stuck with it. And in no way, shape, and form am I saying Battlefield 4 is still perfect, or not still, is perfect now. It was a disaster at the very beginning, and anybody who says it wasn't is in denial. That Battlefield 4 was a broken mess, one of the most broken mess games, other than I think the Master Chief Collection that I've ever played, as far as online capabilities go. Broken, but I still loved it. And I had the fun that I was able to have was very enjoyable. And it's gotten much better. The issues I experienced mainly on console, thanks I didn't have a PC, gaming PC, went away, and it was much more enjoyable. Now that I think of it, actually, I experienced a lot of frame rate drop on the console still, but as I've been playing on the PC, I have not really experienced any frame rate drop. The most critical thing about the game that everybody likes to bring up, which I actually don't have a problem with, is the I almost said rec packs. That's Halo 5. The battle packs, which I actually don't have a problem with, because yes, it sucks. You can't unlock certain things just by, you know, effort. It's a lot of it, some of it's at random chance, but that doesn't annoy me as much as rec packs or other things in other games that are microtransacted. But that's a whole different story. Now with Battlefront, sure, the game may still receive additional maps and content, but when such a small amount was available when the game was initially released, the availability of more maps feels more like Star Wars Battlefront finally giving players what they expected to have from the get-go, what they probably should have had from the get-go. And we're seeing a lot of companies just slice and dice their content to make that extra dough in their pockets. And it's just, I think, a thing that's happening over and over and over, snowball effect over time now. And it shouldn't be. This is one of the greatest generations for any games. I'm excited to see what Star Wars games DICE will come up with next. That's all I got for you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Did you ever like Battlefield, or were you more of a Call of Duty fan, or you just didn't like first-person shooters much at all? Have you enjoyed Battlefront? I know a lot of my friends have enjoyed it, some have not. I think, honestly, until it makes a significant, I know it's down to 30 recently, but until it makes like a $20 price drop, I don't think I'll pick it up. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts, if at all possible. Thank you guys so much for the support. Stopping by again. It's good to be back with another gaming article. Good to be back. Until next time, guys, I'm Third Time's the Charm. You can't see it. You can't. Bring you guys everything gaming.